Hello?
I'm no man, I'm a man. If you seen this shit.
Broadcasting live from the command center located in Jacksonville, Florida, this is Military Witnesses to UAP. I am your host, Shannon Scott. And backed by popular demand, located deep in the Missouri woods, my right-hand man, Rob Heatherly. We both have assumed the duties and responsibilities of continuing the conversation. So, buckle up, hold my beer, hang on, and let's get started with today's briefings. What's up?
Hey.
How's everybody doing? Yep, my son's still doing a breathing treatment, so it may be hours until he's done. So I'll go ahead and start it. Rob told me you can't really hear the nebulizer compressor machine, whatever. It's up and running, but apparently can't really hear it. Maybe it's because of these awesome headphones that my daughter got me. Okay, so what's going on today, Rob? How are you doing?
Doing all right.
Doing all right. Yeah, been doing a lot of messaging today. Right up front, first thing I want to say is thank you, Tim, from UFO Man, for hooking us up with a logo for our charity. Lou loves it. Rob says he loves it. I love it. So we're going with it, man. So I'll share. I need to dig that picture up, folks. Give me 1 second. I'll dig it up. It is right here, folks. Bam. Now, where the red is going through the canine, I'm going to have that probably just white it out in those little areas to really pronounce the puppy there. And on the arm, I'm going to probably make that more white to make that pronounced for the it's partially the Wounded Warrior Project. Tim looked it up. As long as we don't use the verbiage, we should be good to go. So, thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. And of course, if you would be so kind to go over to UFO Man and subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification for upcoming videos. He also made this, which is freaking awesome. Shannon Scott's annual Vets and Vets for Wounded Vets and Pets fundraiser. And before anybody asks, I'll go ahead and tell you, the link is in the description below. It's already been updated with the new logos and stuff. And hats, I'll be making some hats, first of all. And hopefully wherever Lou goes, he's wearing his hat. I told him that he has to wear the hat until the end of his days. Maybe even when he goes to bed. Got to leave the hat on, man, because you don't want to be caught without the logo hat, right? So it's all for charity. And we're getting, yeah. So what was your thoughts, Rob, when you saw the logo today? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. That's going to make an excellent addition to the merch and the campaign. I think it's spot on. You guys both have an excellent eye for artwork. So, yeah.
Really appreciate it. I just been kind of under the weather to do it, and I know I asked him a long time ago, and he did it today, and man, he just hit a home run with that. All right, so we need to get on with the show. Rob needs to call it early tonight, but I wanted to let everybody know that boom, right here, open lines tonight. We don't have a phone that you can call in, but you can leave a question in the comment section. Make sure you put all your questions in caps so that it sticks out. Rob and I are blind, and we'll do that number, but we can see it better if it's in caps. So pay more attention to it.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what else we got. I know we got one UFO video that I want to show, and I know we got a story. The headline story of today is whatever I put it up. It was what was it? Congress something about UFO. Hold on, let me get the right verbiage.
They approved the spending bill for the defense. Not I don't think the NDAA for 2023, but a portion of it that virtually acknowledges that there are non-human technologies in play, because it delineates between investigating UAPs that are human-made or versus not human-made. So if they didn't think they existed, they wouldn't make a permanent office for it.
Good point. Here's the headline, folks. Congress admits UFOs not man-made. Says threats increasing exponentially. And this has come from vice.com. Wednesday, August 24th, 2022, folks. So it's fresh off the press. And we'll go over that here momentarily. And yeah. All right. Hey, Mikey. You going to bed yet, buddy? No. Okay. Hey, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. All right, let's get straight to the UFO video, folks. So this video came out, I don't know, years ago. And it's one of those videos, and everyone's probably experienced this too when you're trying to look for a good UFO video. And it's one of those that just sticks in your mind. Like, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know how this can be faked. I don't know how Mick West would give this an explanation. I think I can recreate it with a drone, and it's just a matter of putting the drone in the right place with the right lighting. But I doubt that, since it's coming from this place right here. Boom. Chihuahua, Mexico. The video appeared to be coming from a construction site from a top of a hill, a mountain, whatever they got going over there, a higher elevation.
What year was this?
Do you remember? Know.
Because I think I remember seeing it like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And they didn't have that good a drone tech back then either. So, right. Another thing to consider.
If anybody has the ability to translate what these folks are saying and just give us the gist of it, I would love to know. It just you can hear the excitement coming from these construction workers or construction worker who's videoing this in not in put the phone sideways, and that's landscape. He's doing it in portrait mode. Okay, I always suggest put it in landscape so that it's good enough to put on TV. Because you put it in portrait mode, you just want to have a slit right down the middle. All right, so I think I did a good enough job letting everybody know. Did I even upload this sucker? I don't think I uploaded it, man. Let me see if I can upload this.
Man, for shame.
I know, I'm slacking. Oh. All right.
You did one job today, dude.
I had one job.
Screwed it up, man.
I know.
Leroy's going to be recruiting you for the fleet.
I know.
Man.
I know. All right, I'm uploading it this time. So, man, I didn't get it going. Oh, let's just go ahead and go back to this logo. It looks great. Thanks, Tim. All right. Let's see if it's uploaded yet. No, it's got this. No, that's not it. It's still uploading, folks. No, I'm not. Apparently, I'm uploading that monkey video I sent you earlier. I'm not putting that on. That was funny, but I'm not putting that one on.
Yeah. Raz, I think we have to all keep in mind that the media, the government and the media control what the people see. They want to control the narrative and the perception of our environment. If there were people picketing out in front of the DOD and the White House, if they don't want to cover it, we'd never hear that it happened. We don't know generally what people's reactions are, other than sampling what's on Twitter and YouTube videos and comments where the comment sections are open, but there's no active ongoing escalation of coverage of this yet by any particular news outlet to keep tabs on it, to have any demographic, to understand how much public interest is truly in it. But it's just a matter of how well it can rise above the other competing news stories and agendas that keep driving it down in the news cycles. For those that have been following this narrative, it's very important and substantial milestone in reaching the objective of a government disclosure on what we're encountering. But I want to caution people to not jump on the bandwagon. Well, they're trying to make it a threat narrative so they can get money for war and all that crap. No, but it is prudent given that the United States government, their primary function is to protect us and our sovereign nation. And that is their job. They, if there's with these things keep increasing their interdictions within our restricted airspace and things, it's their job to find out and portray it as a threat until they know it's not. That's just basic tactics 101. So it doesn't mean inherently they think that it is a threat and they're gearing up for war against them, because they know damn well they can't stop it. But they do need to look into it, and they have to frame it that way to get allocations, monies and attention toward it. That was the whole preface of why Lou resigned.
Mira, échale para allá para arriba del cerro, güey. ¿Qué es eso? Allá arriba, cabrón. Ay, cabrón. ¿Qué onda?
Adelante, adelante. Buenas noches, compañero. ¿Estás ahorita en una estación de combustible? Negativo, ¿de combustible o qué? Afirma unas papellas con gasolina, hermano, me allá para arriba. Esto es compresor, por favor. Sube, ahí lo miro. Ahí que me echen un litro de combustible ahí. Dale.
¿Qué rollo? ¡Ay, güey! ¿Qué es eso? ¡Ay, hijo de su pinche madre! ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué es, güey?
That was pretty good. I like that one. That's a keeper.
Yes, it is. I think a lot of people in the Congress and the military both are particularly paying attention to this, because we got to keep in mind 2017, most if not all of Congress thought that this was completely not a logical or realistic conversation to be having. There was nothing to see here. It didn't exist. So they're behind the 8 ball, just like the majority of the people in the military that were told they're crazy. Don't talk about it. We don't report these things. Keep your head down, shut up, don't speak. So they're, like we see with Kevin Day, they need to be heard. They want to come forward. A lot of them do, and have been told to stay silent. So for them, they've been sitting on it for so long, like Kevin Day. This is everything to them. There's nothing more important. And even if it's just a few individuals that it's going to profoundly change their lives like them, being able to advance what they know, to unburden themselves from it and prove that they're not crazy or that they're not being restrained in comments or whatever, there is nothing more important to them. And I'm sure at some point their stories will come to fruition and be able to be told publicly. We just have to be patient a little bit longer and let them do their thing to evolve it through the proper channels and get it out there for everybody to see. But, just like with the first congressional hearings, unfortunately, they had mass shootings and things that took a priority in the news cycle, and it kind of suppressed the topic somewhat. And the conversations that would have taken place that week, where we took a second to the, narratives like that, which, it's not completely understandable. I get it. But at some point it's going to rise above the rest of it. When it starts shocking the conscience of people that are influencers in the media and government, and they get alarmed, they're going to alarm their base, and then it's going to start growing exponentially.
Raz also says, I understand we should not get too excited and just downplay the information.
I wouldn't say downplay it. I just say, manage our expectations of what we expect so we don't get disappointed. Be conservative and you're the best. And that way you're not disappointed if it's not, the industrial sized fireworks going off all at once. It took 75 years of nothing. And then, from 2017 to now, we've gained more ground than we did in 75 years. So we got to keep perspective on this.
Absolutely. It seems as if, like in the 80s and the 90s, there were long dry spells of nothing, right?
Yeah.
To the to
National Enquirer, side by side with Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens exist. Atlantis, pyramids built by aliens. Well, hell, they may not be wrong after all. Who knows?
Yeah. I'll have to get that clip from Men in Black where he points to the magazine and the checkout and saying, hey, that's where we get our real information right there. Turned out that was
true.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's art imitating life or life imitating art. It's going to
tried to hide it as they took credible evidence that they couldn't suppress. So they it's kind of like what we saw at the beginning. This was gaining a lot of traction. There was so much pressure on Susan Go and the DOD to release information, and they weren't doing it to get pressure off. They're like, okay, they want information. We're going to give them information. So they sent 1,500 documents to the Sun and completely flooded the market with the documents. And they pulled the most unrealistic topic to start with out of all that information, the most woeful. And I'm not delegitimizing it because I believe that there's truth to it. They just went with what was the most unbelievable to the general public to start with to negate the rest of it. So they buried it in a sea of anonymity with a whole bunch of other stories to make it look okay. So we have to say being quiet isn't working any longer. So we're going to we're going to oversaturate them with information then and go the other way with the extreme of it. And that's what they've done. So Robbie, the people who rely on traditional sources of information, until those sources start talking about this as being a legitimate topic, they may not come out of their shell to look around for themselves and see what's out there and going on. So those that do want to listen, we kind of need to ease them into this topic a little bit and, test them out. So, hell, I have a doctor that thinks that I'm having delusions because I told him that aliens exist. I told him when he learns the reality, if he needs to talk to somebody, come to me. I'll be glad to speak with him for an hour or so, and I won't charge him for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, we do our best to get our finger on the pulse of this thing and try to get the right information out to the people. We're not here to steer anybody wrong. We're here to commentate. Basically, we're giving our opinions. And, hey, we could be wrong. But the thing is, Rob and I have such open minds. If things kind of go in one way, let's find out there's a bunch of insectoids. They're here to eat us. We'd go in that direction because that's where the evidence leads. We're going where the evidence takes us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I'll start drinking insecticide. What the hell?
Yeah.
Just to be safe. Lots of ivermectin.
Raid!
You got it.
Yeah.
Glad you're here, Julie. Hope your internet's holding up. We're putting out such heavy hitting information that could crash your internet at any time.
Yep.
So
talking about that, we need to go ahead and go straight to the article. So Rom can bail out at any time, and I can just close up shop and see you guys next time. So here we go. Congress admits UFOs not man-made, says threats increasing exponentially. And this is Vice.com. Here we go. After years of revelations about strange lights in the sky, first-hand reports from Navy pilots about UFOs, and governmental investigations, Congress seems to have omitted something startling in print. It doesn't believe all UFOs are man made. I did that slowly so that really seeps in. Motherboard reports. Buried deep in report. That's how usually Congress do it, right? They bury stuff.
Yeah.
Buried deep in report. That's an addendum to the Intelligence Authorization Act of fiscal year 2023, a budget that governs America clandestine services. Congress made two startling claims. The first is that cross-domain transmedium threats to the United States national security are expanding exponentially. The second is that it wants to distinguish between UFOs that are human in origin and those that are not. Temporary non-attributed objects, or those that are positively identified as man-made after analysis, will be passed to appropriate offices and should be considered under the definition.
I like what they did with Havana syndrome going off to the CIA or whomever, and the real artifact of the Havana syndrome is caused by a known adversary. It goes off to the conventional channels, but what is unconventional stays within the investigative body programs of this phenomena.
Right. All right, let me get back on track here, folks. And I got to take this thing down so I can read it. Stand by. Oh.
You need to borrow my glasses?
I know, right? I cannot see. Yeah. Oh, it's over here with something else. Banners. Let me take that banner out. Now we're cooking with grease. All right, let me get back into what I was doing. Okay, let me finish up this one. Under the definition as unidentified aerospace undersea phenomenon. That's going to be the new term, I think, in the future. I keep hearing that. The document states. I need to probably make a note of that. We're going to have to change our channel to military witnesses to unidentified aerospace undersea phenomenon. That's what, you know, I'm going to have to change the channel name. All right. So the admission is stunning, chiefly because as more information about the U.S. government study of UFOs have become public, many politicians have stopped just short of claiming the identified objects were extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional in origin. The standard line is typically that if UFO exists, then they're likely advanced, you think, although human-made, not vehicle. That not is, I put that in there. Human-made vehicles, not. Obama refused to confirm the existence of aliens, but say that people have seen a lot of strange stuff in the sky lately when asked directly on The Late Show with James Carden. For example, I remember Obama saying, I can't speak to that. So the guy's like, so there is. You're free, to have your opinion. I will. But now Congress seems to want to specifically distinguish between objects that are man-made and those that are not. This is disclosure, folks. I'm thinking this is a soft release here. They're getting everybody used to that hot water is what it is. The admission is stunning, chiefly because as more information about the U.S. government study of UFOs has become public, many politicians have stopped just short of claiming the unidentified objects were extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional in origin, otherwise known as they're not from around here, folks. A large question, of course, is why Congress is seemingly admitting this now in public. After all, that's because people are getting more and more used to it being, talked about. It's no longer a joke. They're no longer on news clips. They're not playing the, whatever that freaking the X-Files music, and they're I hate that crap. There's like so many of them doing that crap a long time ago. They don't do that no more. After all, lawmakers are privy to classified information that the general public isn't. It's strange credulity. It believed that lawmakers would include such extraordinary language in public legislation without compelling evidence. Merrick von Riddenkopf, I hope I said that right, an Obama-era DOD official, said in an op-ed in The Hill about the budget. According to the op-ed, the comments were first noticed by UFO researcher Douglas Johnson. This implies that members of the Senate Intelligence Committee believe, on a unanimous bipartisan basis, that some UFOs have non-human origins. He also continues, after all, why would Congress establish and task a powerful new office with investigating non-man-made UFOs if such objects did not exist? Make no mistake, one branch of the American government implying that UFOs have non-human origins is an explosive development. I got something for that right there too. Let's see if I can find it. Before it's all about timing, folks. Here we go. There you go. That's big stuff there, folks. Let me get out of that.
Straight from Baron von Richthofen's great grandson, which is AKA the Red Baron. So,
seriously? That. I was going to
Baron
ask.
von Richthofen was the Red Baron's name, but that isn't the same one. But it's close.
I don't know too many of those guys. All right, let me see if I can zap out of this. Dang,
but yeah, they already have. They have to already, like I said a long ago, watch the people that were in the classified intelligence committee briefings and how they react afterwards. That they came together with bipartisan support tells us everything we need to know, that they've been briefed enough to scare the bejesus out of them, and they want answers because I think they can't sleep good at night knowing that these things are buzzing around, turning on and off our nukes, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So that's a little disconcerting. Plus, you're giving trillions of dollars to the military, and they got nothing. They got some explaining to do. They need to, at least in private, tell them, what the plan is, even if it's just recognizing that, yeah, they're here, they're increasing their numbers, and they're telegraphing something, and maybe we ought to figure it out before it's too late, if there is a too late to this narrative. But nothing's going to happen if we don't have the discussion. So that's where it's got to start.
Raz says, after hearing the part about the underwater and where that might be, I would not be too keen on going scuba diving in that area. Who should I ask whether it's safe? No guidelines. Well, there's one lake in Russia you do not want to scuba dive in.
Vostok.
What's the name of that?
Vostok.
What's it called?
Vostok.
Okay. Vostok.
I think.
And why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that, Rob?
Well, if that's the one I'm remembering. Those macho Russian Spetsnaz went scuba diving down there, found some big ass not human beings under there. Decided, hey, let's grab one of those, and didn't work out too well for them. One of them died, and the rest got shot up to the surface.
They got the
in a
bends.
heartbeat. Yeah, that's the rumor. And they've lost 4 pilots trying to shoot them down. Yeah, not smart. I think that I would hope, that we have been more cautious. We had, I think it was 57, the pilot in Kentucky or Tennessee that flew up to try and intercept one and crash landed. They tried to say he just flew too high. There was another one missing over the North Sea off of England. But those weren't, I don't think, direct results from trying to fire on one. Just trying to intercept them and, see the whites of their eyes if they have any. And it didn't work. You have a call. Thank you. Vostok was Yeah. One of them is where they drilled in the Arctic and found a lake and reported sea monsters under there, but didn't play with the divers because they couldn't fit through the hole. The other one is where they encountered them with divers. So the other one with the drilling might be urban myth. I don't know about that one. The other one with the divers seems a little bit more credible, but as with anything on this topic, we can't authenticate it 100%, but it's worth talking about, if nothing else, to keep the narrative alive until we do get more accurate information to fill in the blanks with, because the chances of this, an actual event happening of that nature, is very high the more we learn. So even if the specific ones aren't true, I'm sure there are parallels that are true that can be drawn to those. So we need to keep that in mind.
Rob and I have come up with a plan that everything's on the table and for discussion. However, is there something that is basically it's been solved? We call it case closed. We'll do one of these numbers. Boom, case closed. Okay, so we ain't gonna talk about it no more because that's we got other things to be talking about. And we got some case closed things coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, we
I
do.
got to do some more editing stuff. Other than that, Rob, is there I don't want to make you go in the directions you don't want to go. I just want to make a
we can go there a little bit.
Okay. I want to make a like a statement here. Rob's probably like me. There's a lot of people out there telling stories and we're all listening to it, right? Whoever who just whoever you can think of. Maybe they're on Gia, whatever that channel is, right? Maybe they're on YouTube. You see them all the time. They go to the Roswell conventions. You see them on all these conventions, and just remember, there's a possibility that they're lying.
If people tell whoppers for a living, there's a likelihood they're still telling whoppers now, telling about their making a living, and whatever goes with it, because for whatever reason, people that have a habit of not telling the truth, when you do it that long, it becomes part of who you are. And
liars lie.
We're going to call somebody out pretty soon because we want to make sure innocent parties are not being, we know an innocent party is being accused of something they didn't do or say, and it could be misleading and not helpful toward their reputation. Somebody approached me recently, asked me about something, and they were pissed off about it. And I told them, I already know that that's not true, but I can verify it, and I did. When I have permission, I'll share it a little bit better. But yeah, I want to get that one out there. So yeah, next time around, I'll make sure I got clearance to.
And just for clarification, we're not out to get anybody. Okay, it's just that when information comes along and we find out that it's not true, we just want to inform the audience of the truth.
Set the record straight.
So that's all it is. We're not out to get nobody.
No, because an innocent person's reputation could be harmed and was. At least to the individual that inquired with me. And I'm sure he wasn't the only one that was thinking that when he heard it, of going, what the F? Why did that, why is he associating with that person? Because they're not, that's why. And we're going to set the record straight.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't have conversations with Lou, don't claim that you did. Because spaces and crap where you got all these people on there, somebody's going to record it and somebody's going to ask questions and it's always going to get back to somebody.
And I got a copy of it. I now have a copy of it.
Honesty is the best policy. And if you don't have something nice to say, or if you can't tell the truth, just shut up.
Yeah. One thing about lying, and people of who 40 or plus know this, that those who lie have to remember the lies they told people to in order to keep their lies straight so they won't get caught. if you don't lie, you don't have to worry about it. See,
Yeah.
I'm too dumb to lie because I can't remember who I told stuff to. So I just honesty is the best policy, and it no drama is my policy too,
Yeah.
and that helps keep that policy in check. Not lying causes no drama. If you lie, you're gonna have drama, right? So I think we said that pretty well. I hope everybody got it. So let me go
Yeah.
over in the chat. Whenever you're ready, man, we can bail out on this. We already did 35 minutes. Stick them in a potato sack and throw them off the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy,
Over the
that's
train
what.
bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Raz was asking about rules of engagement. That's one of the things that I have thought long and hard on. Why would they be telegraphing intent like advanced scouts would in the military before a raiding party or try and occupy a territory or just gathering intelligence in case they have to try and go hard on a territory? What would that look like? And what would parallel mirror with what we are observing with no interaction, overt communication with us by UAP? It looks to me like they are using as minimally communication with us as possible to achieve an objective. What that would be, I have no clue. But given it concerns nukes, I have a lot of suspicions, and most of you have heard what those are by now. And do I have any way to prove it? No, I don't, except that it's just basic logic that they're telegraphing intent. They are biased of where they are frequenting, and that is telling in itself that is a form of communication. I think everyone would agree on that. As to why they're not overtly stating what that is, for 5,000 years, we've had covert communication, nothing direct. Before that, we had a lot of direct, and it was very hands-on, and it didn't work out well for any parties involved that we know of in the literature. So there's different rules in play now for the last few thousand years. Maybe they have a right to self-defense and don't want to see us destroy the planet, along with ourselves. But it's okay. We kill each other off, that's fine. Free will and all, but take the rest of the planet with us. I can't blame them for that. I wouldn't blame them for that. But I think we need to be having the conversation as a species so we don't get to that point. So we need to know. And I think that's the premise of why a lot of people like Lou are pushing for disclosure. Humanity needs to have this conversation. Frankly, that's it. They need to understand the brevity of what we're encountering and figure out what their intent is, if that's possible. There's a good chance they could do whatever they're planning on doing, get it done, and still never say a word to us and just vanish again. That's possible. Don't know. But we know they can talk to us if they want. It's not a matter of them trying to figure out how to work the internet or get their Captain Crunch decoder ring, out of the bottom of the cereal box. They've already figured it out. They can turn nukes off and on. I think they can figure out how to talk to us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was definitely communicating. Like, what are you doing with these?
Yeah. And the concept of good and bad on a cosmic scale, it's subjective. But as humans, subjective to us, it's living in symbiosis with everything else on this planet to not intentionally do harm. That's what I would consider good versus bad. If something has the intention to do harm in relation to what it's trying to live in harmony with, it's like animals, that are predators. Lions aren't conscious of the pain they're inflicting on the prey. That's unfortunate, but that's how they survive. But if they were human like us and they hear them screaming in pain, then they consciously think, oh, damn, I'm hurting that thing and it didn't like it. That's a conscience speaking to you. Then that is a conscious observation that you're doing harm to something. And that I would call, not a good decision. If you have to kill something, do it humanely. I take no pleasure in have to kill anything. I don't kill anything unless I have to. And that in most circumstances doesn't rise to that. But
I did tell Rob if he would go out there and kill that bear, that I would pay for someone to come along and make a rug for me. I've always wanted a bear rug, so my dog can lay on it. I do not like bears. Everybody in my family knows that.
I hate sharks. I'd rather swim into a UAP than a shark any day. Except the ones that are black and the size of a small island that they spotted off of Puerto Rico. That thought scares the friholies out of me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be those divers trying to clean their wetsuits out when they saw that thing. Damn.
Yeah, I would love to have seen what the crewman on that helicopter and that probably as a search and rescue swimmer, Navy. They were trying to recover some type of ordnance, a torpedo, or a dummy, a harpoon, a dummy, whatever it was. And they're telling that SAR swimmer, forget about it. Come on up. And this big black thing comes up and sucks down the dummy ordnance. Yeah. That man, that's some scary shit right there, man.
That was terrifying to hear about. Almost as ominous as seeing those over a mile wide pyramid-shaped black objects over the Kremlin and the Pentagon that made absolutely no noise, but they're huge. And they're just sitting there turning. That's just so damn creepy.
Yeah.
That overtly, you talk about the big brass balls on that ship, man, and flying that, it's over a mile wide and it's just sitting here over the Kremlin turning in silence for everything to see out there and not giving zero damns about who sees it because they know they can't do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, and that's one of our cases.
That was the point.
Case 4, I think. Yep.
Yeah. And it's rumored that they did that in Shanghai as well. But then they came out and tried to say that one was a drone too. I think China's got their own state-sponsored McWest down there. We'll dig into that one too. I got a friend that speaks Mandarin, so yeah.
So someone check out the PR UFOs.
Okay. I know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but we don't have as good a video over the Pentagon as we do the Kremlin. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I'll find it.
We got better video in Russia than we do in the United States. That's funny.
There's 2 videos. One's from a dude from an vantage point, and the other video from the Pentagon was a dude inside the passenger side of a car driving around the Pentagon looking up at this thing. And if this is fake, I want to tell you, it'll cost a lot of money to make this fake. I don't think it's fake. I think it. When I think of it, I immediately think of Independence Day, the poster of some national monument. Geez.
That's in your face, bold.
Goosebumps.
If you're wanting to send a government a message, hovering over the top of their Capitol building with something that's over a mile wide and just sitting there for like 30 minutes to an hour,
just rotating.
What kind of message is that?
It's not even rotating. It's just going in all type of like. What was the shape
like
of it?
Zero gravity. It's like it's just floating in zero gravity. Just. Tumbling.
It's not a triangle. It was a something.
A isosceles triangle.
Isosceles.
Or equilateral. I don't know.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll get it all figured out.
Like a 4-sided, 6-sided diamond. Oh, man.
And then what I'll do is do some basic geometry.
Thank you.
If I know how big
Thank you.
Yeah. If I know how big the Pentagon is, right, and make a mark, and then I can, measure the craft, and I can tell you how long it was. I can tell you how high it was. So I'll look into that. Use some basic geometry, and I'm surprised someone like the F-16 retired F4 Chris Leho, right?
Yeah,
Leto?
I imagine there are people that out there that have scaled it. We just have to find it because it gets buried in the cycle. But yeah, and it could be holographic, but to keep light from shining through it and pick it up on radar, you got to have some mass to it, which they could do, but it takes extremely high energy to make that kind of plasma.
This thing
3D
is black,
hologram.
and the only light you can see is from the ground. The ground lighting is what's lighting this thing up, because it's darker than the atmosphere, than the sky. The sky is kind of like gray, and this thing was black. And you can't project black, can you, Rob?
I wouldn't think. It's the absence. Black is the absence of light.
Right. You can't. I don't think this is a special. Hey, by the way, let's get this thing going above the Pentagon with our special program here and see what people's. I think this is out of their control. So, I need some more motivation. I do a Freedom of Information Act on the logs, security logs there at the Pentagon on that day and time, because I'm sure the day and time's already it's been noted.
They were a little lazy. We're not saying that it's 100% the real artifact. No. We're just saying that
it's very interesting.
It appears that way.
It's high up there on interesting.
It's worth talking about. That's all I can say. It's worth talking about. And it's a unique outlet that are one of these unique cases that the locations, I mean, if you can spoof it, we could spoof it. We could say our military could spoof it in the United States, but who spoofed it in over the Kremlin? Did we go over there and do that? We had the equipment in place to do it over Russia or in China, or two of our biggest enemies. I think not. Yeah. But
a wise man, and Rob knows this wise man as well. A wise man once said that you could be 100% sure about something and still be wrong, and still be totally wrong.
Yeah.
So we're open. We're open.
And it only takes one case, and like in the Condon report, out of all the reviews that guy, the guy wrote, of all the cases he mentioned one that he felt certain was not human in technologies. One, but that's all it took to legitimize that there's a non-human intelligence out there at work, and it ain't us. And yeah, it's Raz, for it being a creepy conversation. Like Lou had said in Lakota and ancient history, they've been here a very long time, and it would be creepy if they just got here like in the movies and they're staging and they're waiting for the mothership to get here so they can go ahead and conquer the planet, whatever. They've been here a very long time. And if they're trying, people like me of faith, believing that there's a non-human entity that's all powerful, check. I can already check that box. I've already taught my kids that they can check that box too. This is just another subdivision of that box that they can check off. There's other things that we weren't aware of that are in that box. Surprise, but nothing unheard of from belief structures that we have, the Native Americans, most any what you consider religion or non-religion, Buddhism, whatever, they all have components of this built into it. What they're trying to telegraph, following nuclear weapons around, that part creeps me out. But I'd rather think that there's a remote possibility that they'll try and stop nuclear annihilation of the planet than not. That what terrifies me most is that nobody's going to stop it, and that everything is going to be incinerated. That part scares me the worst. It's not the non-human that scares me. It's what humans will do if we don't get stopped ourselves. That's what terrifies me.
Mm-hmm. Hey, just a reminder, folks, this live in 2 days. So that'll be Rob and I will be on UFO Man from 9 p.m. I guess that's Eastern time. 8 if you're with Rob. 7 if you're in Lou's area. So on and so forth. So if you haven't already, go to UFO Man, subscribe, hit that notification, because we will be live in 2 days. Go check us out. I might even go check us out.
Yeah, I'll be there. Be square, man.
I know, right? Yeah. How you doing so far, Rob? You going to make it?
Nah, I'm about ready to crawl off the bed, man.
Okay. All right. But I'm out of material, folks. If y'all have like UFO videos or
Oh,
stories.
Raz, that's a dirty word to put together.
Oh, I gotta look. Now you got me wondering what he said.
I don't even want to say it. Those are two words I don't like putting together. It just too much.
Oh
too much bad blood
yeah,
on
I
that
agree. Yep. Whenever someone says that, I'll tell you.
We know who he
Lou
is, and it ain't what people made a false documentary about. That's for damn sure. So yeah,
because they didn't come interview me or Rob, because we would be the ones that would actually know, right?
Yeah,
with the kind of
yeah.
the kind of character he is. Because I can tell you, it's it ain't that.
Yep.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, yeah, Dave. If you can find, DM me on that one, the floating city of China. Yeah, I'd like to read that one again. Back in the Roman days, there was the chariots over. There was an entire battle being fought up in the air. They saw
Yeah, I heard about it.
the ground too. That's what that reminds me of. But yeah, it's the elicited response. But what is it? Who knows? Yeah. Thanks, Terry. Good seeing you two here, all of you. But yeah, I think I'm about ready to call it night, guys.
Yep. That we'll go ahead and end it, folks. And if you would just please help us out with the trying to get our 1,000 subscribers, because I got to bring this up. I like showing this anyways. So
yep.
I'm horrible with timing today. So give me 1 second. Here we go. Once we have 1,000 subscribers, we get to monetize the channel. We also get to do super chats. 100% of all the proceeds for this channel, plus the super chats, go to Shannon Scott's annual Vets and Vets for Wounded Vets and Pets fundraiser. Case closed. That's absolutely. So if you haven't already subscribed, please support us by subscribing, hitting that like button. Also, I heard, this is what I hear. I hear if you put a comment in the comment section, not the chat, that it helps with the algorithms, and it lets people. Go ahead.
It helps bring it up on the search engine for YouTube, but we're going to get better at putting our hashtags in on the descriptions and in the description of the title too, so it helps. So yeah, we got to get our marketing game on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That shows.
Tim has done the UFO Man has really done great, helping us out, supporting us, making a lot of artwork, and just the exposure for Rob and I, so we can get the charity that was named after me by Lou Elizondo and Rob. I'm very appreciative and honored. That will make millions of dollars. That's what we'd like to see, beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
And help service members. But any last words, Ron?
Yeah, that's a good idea there, Bob. With TikTok, that is a good idea.
Do I have to dance if I go to TikTok? I have to do a dance or something, with tens and tens of views.
Yeah, we're gonna get tens and tens of views. The guy that was my history.
Mayhem.
If you keep Mayhem. When he retires, his X-rays and MRIs are gonna look like mine. He's gonna be all metal and artificial joints and all that good stuff, and cry himself to sleep every night because of the pain of it. So yeah, he needs to be a little more gentle on himself. So anyway,
last words, Rob?
Nope, I'm done. Stick a fork in me.
Good night, folks.
I'll take care, all right? Nothing but love for you. Nothing but love for you. You think they have any clue what's about to happen to them?
Oh, not a chance in hell. Good night.